This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm giving this information at the beginning so you know where I'm coming from here. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41. I was kidnapped by what is now the New World Order, which Elizabeth, the illegal monarch, the illegal person sitting there pretending to be monarch, is a part of her and Charles. This is your global takeover. The very ones that the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Joe Kennedy was ambassador and helped in my kidnapping. Roosevelt, this is my uncle, George, Elizabeth's father, who helped kidnap me, Victoria II, take down his own brother. My father married Claudia Ruth O'Keefe from Madison, Wisconsin, sister to artist George O'Keefe. This is the double that married Wallace Simpson, 99-year seal. This man, Elizabeth, and her brood are illegal. They gave away Great Britain. This man signed illegal treaties that allowed the United States to place its military bases all over British territories and make Great Britain fight against its own interests. And plus, it's a big joke. 4th of July coming up here in a few days. As I sit here in this country, a hostage, and Elizabeth and company are using my money. And by the way, I wanted to get to this because NBC Today's show is on. I'm watching. They got Pippa on. They have Pippa on there, and they're talking about her dress. And again, I've lost my. They're talking about her dress. It's hanging in her wardrobe. And how she, well, I haven't heard this yet. I just heard part of it where Pippa, her comments on the United States. She recently did a bike ride, all this long bike ride and all this, on the Americans, how they ran out and were so glad to see her, and her comments. I haven't heard all of them. I'm sure they're pro-American. Well, that's what I've been trying to do. I had no outlet because the New World Order, the Rockefellers, they control the media, but most of the people, I've walked in my shoes. I've had them 2.5 years, and they're clodhoppers, because that's where they put me. Moulton, Alabama gave me the name of a twin. Both were dead, killed by their mother, illegitimate. Back then, illegitimate. That was passed on to me, her name and all, and the hell that went with it. So I found out in '83 about my kidnapping when I was flown to Flint, who helped me in a campaign. And I've written about a doctor and congressman about mind control, murders, how you can make people oh, here, excuse me. I mean, it's so preposterous. Here's Miss Delaware, the controversy over her crown, Miss Delaware crown, and she's wondering, she's attempting to sue. Well, I can't get an attorney. This is America. You want to know my feelings on America? I wish it would be before the whole world, and you'd get to see this journey I've had with every law, tortured, people finding fun in it, and just exactly how I was treated systematically here in this country. They even paid Elizabeth to come here in '07 when the mind control murder was done, the mass murders at Virginia Tech, and then the 33 April the 16th of '07. This is what I wrote about in '07, '08, when Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was in Marietta, Georgia. You should see what happened to me in Cobb County. I'm trying to get this on because I don't plan to make another tape today anyway. I've got a long list of them. You can't go to the media. And when they talk about Facebook, by the way, they just did. Facebook is and YouTube, the social media is the only outlet I have. And thank God, since they want to bring God into all this, and they've committed all these crimes and everything, I'm going to bring him in too. It's unbelievable. So it really is. It leaves me speechless here. So I don't mean to make any more takes, at least today. I'm not sure it's getting me anywhere. But I do want to thank Facebook and YouTube for allowing me to tell the truth, since the media doesn't tell it. I mentioned Miss Delaware and the crown dispute. The tiara, everybody wants the crown. Everybody wanted to be the queen or their little princess, and yet they hate my guts. It's a laugh here in this country that they've been able to do it. Still the queen, and the fourth is coming up. And it's interesting to hear Pippa's comments about America, her views of it. And then I'd like for the world to see exactly what they've done to me, and I hate their guts. I hope there's God, and I hope for one time in history they pay for their crimes before a world court, and it would be so nice that this God they believe in, they say they do, would step in and put a stop to the theft and the murders. Now then, in case somebody's really upset that I'm doing this, I wanted to mention this before I go. I started writing about the mind control murders, which Larry Flynn, I keep saying that because Flint was shot and flew me out there during the campaign. With mind control, it has nothing to do with mental illness. They're using mental illness and mind control as a weapon, and it's invisible. Mind control is. The ones that I have written about and tried to get published, and then this is the crown controversy, I think. And then suddenly, like Pippa and Elizabeth, they suddenly have stole, at least Elizabeth and company, has stole me. She's using my money. She's a traitor. And suddenly they're charity here and charity there, and you got Elizabeth here in Virginia, and I'm up on top of Roanoke Mountain without even tissue or, well, anyway, toilet tissue, food, freezing, you name it. She's got my money, and everybody loves her. It's all in how you commit the crime. But I was going to tell that one of the mind control, because the agency that's doing this has deliberately done them in patterns so that they can be proven. But of recent, I just wanted to mention this one. The little fellow, 22-month-old Cooper Harris, his parents were, I believe, born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tuscaloosa is the state mental health there. Now, I would like for you to know what Huntsville, Alabama, Lina Dempsey, a woman who wanted to cover up the killing her twins, and my kidnapping and my being there. I wish that the world would have to look at all this and what really happened to me and my two sons, Mark and Scott here, and to my parents, King Edward VIII and Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. Now, Cooper Harris was left in the car. His father is Justin Ross Harris, and he's being held in Cobb County Jail. And I believe they've charged him with murder, perhaps the mother with murder. This is one of you can do anything with mind control. You just blank it out of his mind. He's been programmed. The fact that he and his wife were looking at a computer is just more of the backup in all this, like the mass murders, the Columbine and all that. The computers were used, and it looks so realistic that these kids did that, except when you put it together, if you care to, because it can happen to your kid or you. Mind control, you're not immune to it. You don't even know you're getting it. And I wanted to mention the Blade Runner. That tears my heart out, because Reva, I like her too. This has nothing to do with likes or dislikes. It has to do with right and wrong, and the wrong person charged for the crimes. Reva Steenkamp could be the one on trial now because she shot him, because this is a mind control murder. Now that I've mentioned those two, the Cooper Harris, the young fellow, this has happened more than once, of the toddler being left in a car, and these parents can you imagine loving your children and you can't understand how that happened? They blank it out of your mind. You're told not to even see it. It's like it's spaced out, your kid. If you went into mind control, MK Ultra and all that,